Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good morning, everyone. So, I hope everyone is, yeah, hello, hi. So I think we have already waited long enough for everyone else to come in, and I was advised that we are going to have like 15 or 16 students. So now we have 18 students, including 3 admins. I think we are enough. Okay, so I guess we're going to start now. Yeah, you okay with that? Everyone is okay? Yeah, we can start. Yeah. Yes. All right. Okay. So welcome to research methodology class with me, Normalize. I'm a senior lecturer at the Faculty of Technology Management and Business, University Tun Hussein on Malaysia, and I think it is not too late to wish you who's celebrating a happy Deepavali. Okay, Suman Tiwari. So you are celebrating, is it? You celebrate Deepavali, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
Yes,
happy
I do.
Deepavali. It's not too late, right? Okay,
Yeah, thank you so much.
alright. So you are still in the mood, is it? Raya mood?
No, back to the basic mood already.
Alright. Okay, who we have here also? Let me see. So we have 19 and 19, 16 students already. So Mr. Ahmad Salam. Are you here, Mr. Ahmad?
Yes, hi.
Yes, hi. Okay. So I just want to check. You are international student, is it?
Yes, I am from
Yes.
Yemen.
All right. Okay. Welcome. I just checking the water because I think only you are actually use international. I don't know who else. Okay, so I think I'm just going to go with using English as my medium of interaction. All right. So
Okay,
if
thank
I'm,
you.
yeah. All right. Mr. Zhu Shi Chao. Mr. Zhu Shi Chao, are you there? Okay, it's okay. Okay, we are going to have we are going to have lots of time to have a ice-breaking session. So I think this is your second time with us, okay, in this research methodology class. So I'm going to take over for this for these 4 hours. Okay, I'm going to share with you all about research methodology from my very small experience. Okay, not that much, but yeah, something that I want to share and something that I like to share with you. Okay, I hope that today is going to be a very fruitful session for you guys, okay, in order for you to start your masters and your PhD. All right, so I think the demography of our class today is quite broad, is it? Some of you are doing masters and some of you are doing PhD, isn't it? Who's doing masters, if I may know?
I am taking masters.
I see. So you're okay. All right. So only you, is it? And everyone else is doing PhD. Okay, it's okay then. Okay, I'm just checking the water. Okay, just setting the environment and make sure that I cover, okay, every the things that I should be covering. All right, so I have already given you guys, okay, the notes for today in the chat box. Okay, if you may just click that Canva note. Okay, you are going to be directed to a Canva presentation, and in that Canva presentation it's going to have a Prezi notes. All right, so for your kind information, this class is going to be recorded, and I'm going to send you the link through the administration staff, okay, for you guys to watch it all over again. All right, just for your own, whenever that you are free and whenever that you want to, listen back to what I've said. Okay, just go to the link that I will be providing you at the end of this class. All right. Okay. So without further ado, I think I'm just going to go to my presentation. Okay, can you see my research methodology here? My notes here? Not yet?
No.
No,
Not
okay.
yet.
Okay. Sorry. Okay, what about now? Can you see this? That's my face, and yeah. Can you see now? Yeah.
Yes, already.
All right. All right. Good. Okay. Okay. So I hope if you have a problem in seeing my notes, or I've been lecturing too fast, or you cannot hear my voice, just raise up your hand or turn on your mic saying that, okay, Dr. Atun, stop, I cannot hear you, or I cannot see your face, or I cannot see your notes. Right? Can you do that?
Sure.
All right. Okay. Inshallah. Okay. So like I said, today I'm going to share about research methodology, and this is my name. Okay, my name is Normalize the Database. Okay, it's quite long. Usually my peers call me Atun. Okay, if you may, okay, you want to call me Dr. Atun, yeah, would probably be sweet also. Okay. And this is my background. Okay, just setting the mood. Okay, setting the environment. I graduated from Imperial College London 8 years ago. I have already, been in your shoes like 7-8 years ago. So I know whatever that you are actually facing right now. Okay, and to make it worse, I did it in split mode. It means to say that I did my PhD in two environments, okay, in London and also in Malaysia, in United Kingdom and also in Malaysia. So I have, restricted to the budget, and also restricted to the time-wise. Okay, so I know whatever that you are facing right now. Okay, and then I did my Masters of Engineering Management at local university, okay, University Putra Malaysia, 2008. Okay, for those who are actually right now doing your research part-time, okay, I also know what does it feel, okay, because I did my Masters of Engineering Management in part-time mode. Okay, when I did my Masters when I'm still working. Okay, and yeah, that's a story that I keep in another time lah for me to tell you guys. Okay, but all in all, I just want to say that you are not alone. Okay, I feel you. All right. And I did my bachelor degree civil engineering from University Technology Malaysia. Okay, in 2003. And it's quite long time ago. So right now I'm serving the construction management department at the Faculty of Technology Management and Business. Okay, for your kind information, I teach civil engineering courses, includes engineering drawing, soil mechanics, structural design, structural analysis and everything, okay, including research methodology classes. For your kind information also, I just got back from London to do my postdoctoral research at the same Centre for Environmental Policy at the Imperial College London in January 2021, which is 10 months ago. So I just got back, okay, and we are still by we, I mean me and my family are still settling down, just because of the COVID and everything. So we need some time more to settle down. Okay. I have also experience in the industry working as engineer in multiple construction companies, including Malaysian Maritime and Dredging Corporation, and also Dr. Nick and Associates. Everything is in Kuala Lumpur. Both of these companies is in Kuala Lumpur. That is for my industrial background. Okay, I have also background as a research assistant, where I served University of Technology Malaysia Kuala Lumpur back in 2003. At the same time also I serve as a lecturer part-time, teaching civil engineering students diploma, and also I also have teach as a substitute teacher at the Kuala Lumpur Technical Institute back in 2003. So I have like I've listed here, I have quite a various, quite a variety of background that that covers industrial and academics also. Okay, so right now I'm a senior lecturer at the UTHM. There are some fun facts about me. I don't know whether it's fun or not, but this is something that I consider as fun. Okay, just to get you going to know me. Okay, your lecturer for today. Before I proceed to share my experience and my knowledge in research methodology, there are 3 fun facts about me. Okay, I love to teach. I have been teaching like I've told you before. Okay, the previous slide, I've started teaching like 20 years ago. Okay, since I've finished my bachelor degree. Okay, I started when I started teaching Technical Institute of Kuala Lumpur in 2001. Okay, 2002. Sorry, 2002. So it's almost 19 years now I teach. And I've delivered lectures in various institutes, including UTM, UTHM, and also Imperial College London and Brunel University London. Okay, I have students from various background, no matter what color you are, no matter how you bring yourself to the class. As long as you like to learn, I welcome you to my class. I also love to do research. Okay, I went to Massachusetts Institute of Technology, okay, in the United States for a research collaboration course. It is not an easy task. Okay. As like you see here, okay, there's only one girl who's wearing tudung. It is I'm talking about the middle picture here. Okay, it's 2 things I want to tell you. Okay, it's not easy to be a girl or hijab wearing girl in that environment, and it's not easy to get there also. Okay, even though it sounds easy, okay, you just have to prepare 500 words of telling the administration why you want to be at the MIT for this research collaboration course. But in order for you to write that 500 words, it requires many nights of non-sleeping hours. Okay, so it's not easy. So it's I share this because I want you to know that it sounds easy. Okay, it sounds like just writing, just like writing in the blog, or just writing like in the newspapers, or just writing like something on your notebook. But the quality of what you are writing is actually determining, okay, whether you can be accepted in this like we say in Malay, picisan punya newspapers, or you can send your quality writing to somewhere like MIT. Okay, MIT is the best technical university at the current moment for I think 8-9 years in a row. Have you heard about MIT before? Anyone? Am I talking to myself?
Massachusetts.
Yes, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Have you heard about it? MIT. It's not RMIT, it's MIT itself. Have you heard about that?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes, of course, right. Never heard of it. Who have never heard about this, I think you need to watch many Hollywood movies, for example, like Transformers, for example, like, I don't know. There are so many movies in the from the Hollywood, okay, that mention about MIT. Even the cinema people themselves are actually, recognize the standard of MIT. Okay. So if you want to know more about MIT, okay, just to set your, the if we aim low, then we're going to get low things. Okay, if you aim high, then you are going to get high aims also. Okay, when you are going to get the good things also. So right now I'm trying to instill in you guys, okay, the UTHM graduate soon, okay, that you need to aim high as MIT. All right, so just try to know the environment first. So the best technical university in the world currently is the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. So that is the first thing that you know from me now. Okay. Okay, I've been there for a research collaboration course. It is not easy. Okay, like I mentioned, the culture is different. Okay, it's not like Malaysia. It is not like in the United Kingdom, where I used to do my PhD and where I used to do my master's and my bachelor degree in Malaysia. I still am like I am. Okay, I'm wearing tudung, but at the same time I need to follow my friends. If I cannot go alone, because it's very dangerous to go alone in the middle of somewhere that you don't know. Okay, and I have to tag along with my friends. So whenever that they went into a liquor store, I need to be inside also, because in front of the liquor store is actually those are actually drunk. So for myself, who are not that familiar with all those things, it's quite culture shock. Okay. So that is one thing that I want to share with you, although it's not that related to research methodology, but it just pop into my mind, and I just want to share with you guys. Okay, so I love to do research. Okay, and the third thing is I love to explore. All right, I met many inspiring souls who love to teach and research too. Okay, the third picture, okay, on my left, on my right, is actually when I did my postdoctoral research. Okay, when I met many Malaysians who came from Malaysia for this specific event, and also those who are actually doing their postdoctoral studies also in this is in Brunel. No, this is in Cranfield University. So I met lots of inspiring souls who love to research and also love to do to teach also. And I hope today I'm going to meet the similar souls as mine. Okay, you are now here today with me. It is not a coincidence. Okay, you are here with me because you love to do research. Am I right? Or it just that my assumption? You love to do research, right?
Yes.
Yes, that is why you are here. That is why you are continuing your studies. And that is why you are right now here with me. And I hope that whatever that I'm going to share with you, having a similar vibe with you all, having the same interests, even though I don't know, some of you may not love to teach same like me, but you love to research. And whenever those whoever that love to research, they usually have some side of them, some sweet side of them that like to share also. And when sharing means that they are sharing it through teaching. By teaching also they learn something new. Okay, so yeah, today all those of you are actually 18 students, 16 students today are actually a very inspiring soul, just the same or similar like what like those who have actually, crossed my path before. Okay, so yeah, back to the basic. Okay, the things why we are gathering today, which is for this class, research methodology class. So I'm going to share with you 7 points, right? So it is started with welcoming remarks, okay, and then introduction, the definition of research methodology, okay, the population and sampling, data collection methods, quantitative versus qualitative, and also data analysis. I know it seems to be so much of things that I've mentioned just now. Okay, 7 things. I thought Dr. Aten is only going to share about research methodology, but if you ask me, I cannot touch on research methodology without putting it into perspective. All right, I cannot. Okay, give me a second. Okay, so I cannot share with you this research methodology and all those and all the tools that I've that I have sorry, I've got a call that is so disturbing right now, so I'm just going to turn off my phone. Okay, so okay, sorry about that. So yeah, like I mentioned, I'm going to share with you all these 7 things, okay, and I need to tell you guys that my background isn't just qualitative, it isn't just quantitative. I've tasted everything since my bachelor degree, okay, and I'm going to share with you in my next slides, okay. So the slides that I mentioned is actually this one, okay. Okay. Can you see a tree over there in my notes and a yellow box saying click here? Yes. Okay. If you may, okay, just just click to that box, yellow box, all right, and yeah, and follow through. Okay, I have already here, but I need to give me a second. Stop sharing for a while. Okay, so far is it okay? Can you follow my presentation? Yeah?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Before I move on, okay, to my new slide, can I ask for your help? Can I ask for your help to just turn on your camera, or if you are reluctant, maybe you can say a few words. Okay, we are going to spend like 10 minutes for ice-breaking session. I just want to know who is actually I'm teaching today. Can you do that? Can we start with Azhar? Mr. Azhar Ahmad, thank you so much for being so sporting. Can you tell us your name, where you're from, what you are actually, your program right now, and what is your expectation from my class for today?
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everybody. Thank you, Doctor. So my name is Azhar bin Ahmad. I'm a second semester student of PhD in technology management. My first degree is in mechanical engineering from UTM, and my master degree in manufacturing system engineering from UKM. And actually, I was a PhD student in University of Leeds during 2013 in the UK. But after 2 years, unfortunately, I decided to withdraw from my study and back to Malaysia. And now I think I need to finish what I've started, even though I changed my course from engineering to management. It is because now I work as a director in one of the company in Malacca, in oil and gas industry. So I hope that I can finish my PhD finally, inshallah.
Thank you, Mr. Azhar, our director of day. It's not easy, isn't it, to do your PhD in Leeds, and then yeah, it makes you somehow come back to Malaysia, and right now you're finishing it. So it's not easy, isn't it?
Yes, of course. Need to sacrifice actually. PhD is actually we need to sacrifice something to get something.
That's true. That's true. When I did my PhD, I think it's not uncommon to hear about those students who are actually, having stresses in their life that made them, doing something that isn't something that we can think of, and somehow they end up, being such a I don't know, bad luck, if I may say. But it's okay as long as you think that you are going to finish it here in UTHM. Having that niat, having that nawaitu, inshallah, okay, someday you're going to finish it, because you have already 2 years, isn't it? At the back of your at the back of your experience, saying that okay, you've done your PhD up until literature review, I may say, okay, and then just continue and fit to whatever the faculty offers you the program, which is in technology management, isn't it? So I think having a mechanical engineering and fitting it into technology management wouldn't be a problem. Like what you can see, my background is in civil engineering, so I also can fit myself into this faculty. Okay, even though that there are lots of things that you need to venture into, especially in management part. Okay, we are not doing the engineering part anymore. If I say like 10-20% of it, yeah, we can do it, but there are things, okay, that requires knowledge in management, which will apply to your current situation, which is a director, isn't it?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So can we move on to Mr. Arash Rashid Al Saadi? Are you still there? No? What about Suman Tiwari?
Yes, sure.
Yeah,
Good morning, Doctor.
good morning.
My name is Suman, and actually currently I am working as a lecturer in University of Technology Sarawak. And this is my second semester of Doctor of Philosophy in Technology Management, PPP, I think so. So yeah, I have completed my Master of Science in Technology Management, also from UTHM, as well as my bachelor degree in Technology Management at UTHM also.
I see.
So currently, I just hope that I will be able to complete my chapter 1, 2, and 3 so that I will be able to defend my proposal well as the first step of this PhD. So yeah, thank you, doctor.
So you are the product of UTHM then, but you went too far. Why you went too far? Ah,
Because they
okay.
have this course of technology management in UTS.
I
That's why I went there.
see. I see. It's okay. Maybe somehow we can think about signing MOU or MOA together, having you as our link there. It's
Yeah,
a
sure.
same
I will
program,
have
isn't
thought
it?
about it.
Yeah. Thank you, thank you. Okay, Suman, thank you.
Thank you.
I hope you're going to get whatever that you are expected from this class today. Okay, and I hope that your PhD journey are going to be smooth sailing. All right. Okay, so let's move on to Mania. Mania, Mister or Mrs. Not there. All right, it's okay. Mr. Ahmad Salam.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Waalaikumsalam.
I am Ahmed from Yemen. I'm taking this class and hopefully to finish it in order for me to study, extend my studies to study the PhD. I graduated in 2019 from IT in IT degree, and I worked as I worked in customer service department. So hopefully I will be learning a lot from technology management side. Thank you.
I see. So you're still in Yemen, is it, Mr. Ahmed?
No, I am here in Kuala Lumpur.
I see. Okay, okay. I pray that you're going to, get whatever that you are expected from UTHM, and welcome
Inshallah.
also. All right. Okay. Thank you. Can we go to Zainab? Zainab M. Zainuddin, Mrs. Mrs. Zainab? No?
Hai doktor,
Hi.
Assalamualaikum.
Macam kenal je?
Hai doktor, Assalamualaikum. Hi everyone. I Zainab. Currently, this is my first semester at the UTHM for the first semester for registration. This semester of course faculty PPF code. So hopefully for this I just started. I think it's the long journey to me, and also is some of my friend to for the finish our PhD. I just started doctor.
Okay, thank you. Just one question. You're from UITM, is it?
Yes.
Okay, that's why your name is really familiar. Okay,
Yes,
okay,
Dato', yes.
okay. Thank you for being with us in UTHM. Okay, I hope that you mentioned about your friend. Who's your friend?
Our friend here.
Oh, okay. Okay. Everyone in this class today. All right, all right. I thought someone in your ITM also that here.
Oh no.
All right, all right. Thank you, Mrs. Zainab. Okay, welcome. Okay. Mr. Arash Rashid. Are you there?
Hello. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Doctor, right now I'm not reading anything, so can we talk other session?
Oh, okay. You're not ready. It's okay. It's okay.
I'm not ready.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. It doesn't matter.
Bye.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for being here, even though that you're busy. Okay. Can we go to Ella Silvana Ginting? No. Okay. I don't know if this is Mrs. or Miss. Okay, Lau Zinyi. I think it's Miss. Okay, there's Ella. Hello, Ella. I thought you weren't there. Okay, so just move on. Okay, it's okay. If you're ready,
hello,
then.
doctor.
Hello, hi.
Sorry, yeah.
It's okay.
Good morning from Medan, Indonesia.
I
I'm from
see.
Medan.
Ah, you're
Yeah.
from Indonesia. Okay, hi.
Yes. Hi. I'm a lecturer also here, but in Mikoskel University here, and I'm the first semester for PPB, also PhD student.
I see.
And now, yeah, I'm still on problem statement on my research.
I see. I see. I
Yes,
see.
like that.
I see. Okay. It's quite far, isn't it? Medan and
Yes.
Indonesia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I hope you're going to get whatever that you are expecting from us in
Yes.
UTHM. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very I'm very happy to see. I have a PhD student also in Brawijaya University.
Oh, I see. Yeah, in
Yeah,
Java.
yeah. So is it close to your place?
Around 3 hours by flight is
All
around.
right, all right. If we have some resources, we're going to go to to visit my PhD student. I hope we can have coffee whenever that you are free, and whenever that we have
Yeah.
the resources.
Yeah. Sure, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Ella.
Yeah,
Okay.
welcome, doctor.
All right. How about Lau Xin Yi?
Yes, doctor.
Ah, okay. Are
Yes,
you
good
new?
morning,
Good
everyone.
morning.
Yes. So actually, I just this is my first semester with a master, and I'm doing my research in technology management, and I have just completed my degree with construction management in UTHM.
Okay. So you're under my department, is it? But
Yeah,
have I teach you? I don't think so, isn't it?
I think, doctor,
Yeah. Yeah.
during the soil mechanic
I
course.
see.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm
Yeah,
glad.
good to see you again,
Yeah, good to
doctor.
see you. Good to see you. If I can see your face, I can remember and I can link to that name. But it's okay. Welcome again. Okay, or not welcome. Welcome back. Welcome
Yeah.
back. Okay, and I hope that you are going to finish your masters fast. Okay, so that you can further on with your PhD. I hope so.
Yes, hopefully, doctor.
Okay. Thank you. So
Thank you,
Mania. All
doctor.
right. Thank you. What about Mania? You still there? No. No. Okay. What about Nadia? Nadia FA? No. What about Nadia Izati? Nadia FA? Yeah.
Hi, good morning, doctor.
Good morning.
Okay, my name is Nadia Farah Aida. Sorry, I do not know how to change my name.
I see. Okay. It's
I'm just
okay.
using my smartphone. Okay,
Okay.
I'm doing PhD for technology management. Previously, I was a degree student in UTHM in technology management. So currently, I'm pursuing my PhD.
I see.
Inshallah.
Oh, welcome back also. So you are now doing your PhD. You did your masters or fast track student?
Fast track student.
Fast track student. I see. That's very good to know. Okay. So which department are you from? Technology management.
Yes, technology management.
Okay.
PPP.
All right. Okay. So I hope these fast track students usually fast track students are very bright students, okay, and they can finish their studies in how many? I don't know, 3.5 years if you can. Okay, if you can do less than that, then it's going to be good. Okay, I pray for that. Thank you, Nadia. Nadia Izati. Are you okay? We have two Nadias here. So Nadia Izati, are you here? No. What about Ong Yi Sen? Ong Yi Sen?
Hello, good morning, doctor. Good morning,
Hello.
everyone. Yeah, I'm now currently enrolled in the course of PPP, the technology management. So, actually, previously I'm a student from My degree was done in UTHM, and then I pursued my master in UUM in data analysis, and then after that I am now currently working in a international school. I'm teaching in an international school. Then for only 1 year, and then currently I'm pursuing okay plan to pursuing my PhD. So I have moved on to this step.
Okay.
Okay.
Congratulations. Not many can do whatever you did, okay? It's a very commendable effort. Because some people just like to stay where they are because they like the environment, but some they like to taste waters in different environment. Like myself, I did my bachelor degree in UTM. I did my masters at UPM. I did my PhD at Imperial College, and then UPM, and then postdoc at Imperial College. So there are lots of interesting environment that you can learn whenever that you tasted water at everywhere. So I think that's a very commendable.
Yes,
Congrats.
doctor.
Okay,
Thank
congrats.
you.
Okay, Shazwina. Shazwina, are you still there?
Assalamualaikum, Doctor. Hi,
Waalaikumsalam.
everyone. My name is Norshalina Usman. So I'm already completed my degree in technology management at UTHM. So for now, I am a first year master student.
I see. Okay, okay. So, master student, which department are you currently enrolled in?
Technology management.
I see. I see. Oh, same like Nadia, is it? Oh,
Yeah.
someone else. Yeah. So you have a friend here. So that is the purpose of us being, having a ice breaking. I know maybe perhaps you have already done this in one previous class, but having to know you myself, okay, it's interesting because it sets the environment to something that I'm familiar with, so it makes it less nervous for me because I know you, okay, and you are from mutation and you are from somewhere else. All right, thank you. Okay, thank you. Tech Shimin.
Hi, good morning, Doctor.
Good
And
morning.
everyone. I'm Tech Shin. I'm study for master now in technology management. Previously, I also UTHM students in technology management
I
BPA.
see. I see. Okay. Okay. So many uh breed, okay, or the seed of UTHM here. I'm glad, okay, I'm glad that you take a step forward. I wish you that you're going to get whatever you're going to finish your masters in 1 year time, I hope, okay. And yeah, everything is smooth sailing for you, Tech. All right, thank you. Last but not least, Zhu Shi Chao. Are you there, Zhu? Or Shu? No. All right, it's okay. Okay, thank you so much for being so spotting to turn on your camera, to tell me about yourself, to tell me about your expectations and your background. I feel now at ease, okay, at ease. Okay, becoming a teacher, it's really important as well. Alia Safia. Okay, it's okay, Alia. It's okay. Maybe in some other. Oh, Nila. You has raised a hand. Have I missed your name? Sorry. Okay. Nila.
Okay, Assalamualaikum, Doctor.
Waalaikumsalam.
Let me introduce that. My name is Hanila. I'm a PhD student from FPTP. Previously, I'm from OUM. I did my master in OUM. So after I finished my master, I've been approached by my SD to continue PhD in UTHM.
I see. I'm so sorry.
So I hope to gain so much knowledge from UTHM.
Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Nila, and I'm so sorry. Waalaikumsalam. I'm so sorry. I I miss your name there. Okay, I'm so sorry. It's not. Yeah, I don't know why, but yeah, thank you for the introduction. Okay, from OUM. So you did your masters and your masters in at OUM in Batu Pahat, is it? In Batu Pahat, is it? Or it's okay. Hello. I can see your face, but I cannot hear your voice. It's okay. It's okay. I'm going to record this. Okay, I'm going to record this. I'm going to give the recording to you. Okay, you can or even you can find my name, Nur Fadzliatun Manap, in the YouTube channel where I share all my classes, previous classes. Yeah, okay. And you can, watch it at your own time. All right. So did I miss anyone's name here? You just, you just do what Mrs. Neela did just now. Okay, just raise your hand because sometimes all this technology we cannot, count on. Sometimes we can miss something as important as that. Okay. Again, I just want to say thank you so much for being sporting. Okay, so without wasting any time, okay, let's go to the first the main topic why we are here. Okay, so if you can, okay, just okay, hold on. I have presenting. Doctor, can you please share the present link here to follow? Oh, okay. Of course. Okay. You can actually find the present link in the Canva note. But it's okay. I'm just going to share it again. Okay, that is Canva. But now I'm going to share the Prezi. Give me a second. That is Canva. This is Prezi. Okay, so I have shared again. Okay, the Canva and also the Prezi. If you have had time to find my notes, okay, just pin my name there. Okay, pin it. Okay, so that you can see the notes. Okay, if you are having some hard time to see this Canva, this Prezi notes. Okay, can you see this? Can you see the research methodology notes that I'm sharing right now? No?
We can see the slide, but we cannot see the note, doctor. It's very small.
It's okay. It's okay. I am going to go one by one. It is supposed to be that way because I'm putting everything into one big perspective, like a very big tree, which is called research methodology. Okay, don't worry. It is not technological glitches, but it is meant to be that way. Okay, so okay. Right now, I hope it can become big now. Yeah, you can see my name there, and you can see a code there, a QR code. Yeah. Yes. Okay. This code will bring you to my LinkedIn page. Okay. So I hope after this class we are going to stay in touch. Okay. Through LinkedIn. So I've shared there everything that I want to share from different perspectives. Okay. From research, from academic, from life. Okay. Perspectives, so you name it. Okay, in LinkedIn, or just search for my name in LinkedIn lah. Okay, and send me a connection. Okay, so that we can stay connected. Okay. Now, you can see this blueprint of a house? Yeah? Can you see the blueprint of a house?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, like I said, okay, my background is in civil engineering, so I teach some of the subjects is in construction drawings. Okay, so my knowledge is actually started from how I was trained. So whenever that I want to talk about research methodology, I would very much like to share it or to link it to something that I know. So I hope you can do that also. If our Mr. CEO today, or Mr. Director today is from mechanical engineering, perhaps you have something that you are familiar with, okay? Or Mr. or Mrs. Neela from OUM, you have something that you are familiar with. You can link it, okay? You can link it to something that you like, okay? Not necessarily blueprint like this, okay. um, After this, okay, in this class, throughout this class, I'm going to share my knowledge to something that the analogy can be understood by general public, okay, so everyone can know whatever that I'm trying to share. Okay, so like perhaps this I think everyone knows that or have come across this type of plan, okay, because everyone is living in a house, okay, whether they are going to buy it or whether they are going to build it somehow, okay, in Google even you can find this type of blueprint, okay. So whenever that whenever that I want to understand about research methodology, I will link it to a blueprint of a house. So for me, okay, a research methodology, the definition of it is a blueprint on how to test my research hypothesis. Okay, it means to say that whenever that you want to draw a picture of a house that you are going to put your family in, okay, or you are going to live in it, okay, you need to properly design it. You need to properly think about it first. How are you going to do it? Who are you going to employ to build it for you? How many windows? What concept is it in? Okay, is it an English concept? Is it a contemporary concept? So there are lots of things that you're going to think, okay, because you are going to live there. You are going to put your family, your love, okay, your love inside that house. So research methodology is something like that, okay. Like I said previously, I hope that today I'm going to meet inspiring souls who love to research. So you love your research, you need to design it properly. Put it in like a blueprint. You need to think, how are you going to achieve it? What purpose that you are going to do with for your research? Why you want to do it? How are you going to do it? Okay, so I hope that the definition of the research methodology for myself can be your big why also. Okay, your big why is you want to for example, like to build a house, you want to put your family in it. But for research methodology, you want to achieve your objectives. Okay, so you need to have a blueprint on how to test your research hypothesis. So okay, that is the definition of research methodology. Okay, so I link it, okay, I'm using an analogy of blueprint. Okay, a blueprint is like a house for me, okay, but research methodology, it's quite different, okay, because I cannot think it like a house, because a house, it has many shapes, okay, according to whatever what are the concept, okay, whatever concepts of houses that you want to build. But if you're talking about research, there is one specific model, that you can make an analogy, and everything is going to be the same. So this model can be applied to a research. A model that looks like the picture that I'm showing you now. What is it? Can anyone tell me? What is the picture on the left?
It's a timeline, I think.
Sorry?
A timeline?
Timeline? It's a sand clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sand clock. It's a type of, it's a thing that old people, old folks use, okay, in order to know, okay, a stipulated time. For example, like this class are going to finish after 3 hours or 4 hours, so you tumble this sand clock down, okay, with all the grains of sand still up, okay. Whenever the grain of sands are actually finished going down, then the time is up. So I'm not talking about the process, okay. I'm not talking about the process, okay. Whenever I talk about research, I'm not talking about the process that is similar to this sand clock. I'm talking about the shape of this sand clock. It's just like a guitar shape, okay, or it's like it's a very wide shape, and then it goes a very narrow shape in the middle, and then it goes back to wide shape. So whenever that you are doing research, okay, you should put your mind, okay, and relate it to this shape of the sand clock. Okay, like I mentioned just now, okay, like half an hour just now. Okay, I say that I went to MIT by writing 500 words. Okay, so just because of that one paper that contains 500 words, I am able to go to MIT, the best technical university in the world. Okay, so the thing that is important is actually the writing quality. Even though that you did a very good research, but if you fail to translate whatever that you did on something that can be replicable by other researchers through writing, through publications, it is going to be a waste of time. It is very difficult for us, okay, especially those who are actually having English as their second language, like us, Malaysians. We are having hard time to write good English. Am I right? Do you find it difficult to write in English?
Yes, doctor, since it's like not our first language,
Yes, true. So, like I said, when the thing is, if you can write well, okay, you can go anywhere. So you need just to make sure that you do your research very high quality, but it isn't enough if you just did that and then you leave it just there without translating it very well in a publication form writing. So in order to write very well, very clearly, you need to have a model to follow, because we are those who are actually having English as our second language. Okay, even though that we can speak fluently, okay, even though that we think that we can write, I think Mr. Our director just now, who did his PhD from Leeds, agree with me. Even though that we think we are in Malaysia, our English is good, but when we are in the UK, I think it's good. It's very hard, isn't it? Am I right? Do you have the same sentiment like me, Mr. Hold on.
Yes,
right?
Especially in Leeds, they use a Yorkshire accent.
Yorkshire accent. Oh my god. Okay, but I think the accent wouldn't be. Oh, Arash, Mr. Arash, yes, you raise up a hand. Is anything that you want to share or you want to ask? Yes.
Sorry, Pak. can you share with us your 500 words with MIT
Oh,
for us later?
okay. I can if I can find it. It was 10 years ago.
Yeah, because that's quite interesting about that 500 words. So we are eager to know more.
Okay, okay. I will find it. I will try to find it. Okay, but I think if you want to, if I can give you a substitute, if I cannot find it, if I can give you a substitute, would it be acceptable for you? Because I have a book. I have written a book about my journey to MIT.
Prof,
Is it acceptable?
yeah, it's okay for us, Prof. It's
Okay.
no problem for us.
Okay,
But if you can get if you can get the 500, the ones that you talk about, it's very good for us.
Okay.
Because I watch a lot of Hollywood movie, so I know what's the MIT quality is about.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. It's very interesting for you to mention that. Okay. Just for your kind information. Okay. I went to MIT under the Imperial College London MOU with Massachusetts Institute of Technology. They have an agreement between them to do a summer course. Okay, that is having the students from MIT and from Imperial together to get together in one of the institute. Okay, like my time in 2011, we gather at MIT. Okay, we I mean 20 Imperial College students plus 10 MIT students with 11 tutors gather at MIT. And then in 2012, the students from MIT, they gather at Imperial College London, okay, to have this same summer course. It's just that, okay, when I say that 500 words, it's not something that a competition that was held openly. Okay, that competition was held for students which is registered under Imperial College London and also Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Okay, I have written about this and I have a book. Okay, let me share with you because you asked me. Okay, it's not something that I would much I would like to sell my books, but you asked me then. Here we go. Okay. Okay. Mr. Arash, are you Malaysian?
Yeah, I'm pure Malaysian. Where are you?
Melayu. I thought you're from me because your name is Arash. Okay, hold on.
Yeah. That's my family name from Yaman.
Oh, I see. Mix also lah ni.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on, give me a second. Okay, because we started like in 5 minutes, okay, and now it's already an hour. I think it's okay. We have a break. Okay, in the meantime, I will find it and I will share it with you. Okay, we will gather again in 10 minutes time. Say, okay, 10. All right.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so are we ready? Okay, I have already given you the link, okay, to my books. Okay, it's in Amazon. I sell my books in Amazon because it cover a wide range of market, including UK, US, okay, Italy, Germany, um, and all many part of Europe. Okay, so yeah. Okay, can you see this Amazon? You guys? You still there?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, doctor. Yes, doctor.
I'm just going to take like 2 minutes, okay, because Mr. Arash
Yeah,
asked me
yeah,
to
yeah,
do
yeah.
a game.
I saw your books.
Okay, so these are my books, okay, where you can buy it if you like, okay, and this is actually the some of
Excuse me, doctor. I
yes.
just, I'm so sorry. I still, here is still your slide, doctor.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you, doctor.
Entire screen, I think. It's better that way, isn't it? All right. Okay, now can you see my Amazon author page? Okay, you can see my face there, yeah? No? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so these are some of my books that I sell in Amazon, including the MIT journey. I think the 500 words are not. I will find it hard to find it, but if I can, I will give it to administration staff so that they can they can give it to you guys. But in the meantime, perhaps you want to know what I did at MIT, okay, and what I did at Northern Ireland. These are the travel notes that I have time to jot down. Okay, so some of the excerpts. Okay, can you see this? Can you see this picture? I'm jumping.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so this is actually the book, okay, that is some of it okay, some of it, because I cannot give this, because my partner in the United Kingdom is actually doing all these things, okay, and I cannot give it free for free. So if you want to read about it, okay, you can buy it from Amazon. So these are some excerpt, okay.
Professor, one more.
Mm.
Have you been write a book about innovation something?
About
Innovation.
innovation.
Yeah.
I have a couple of books at the end of the pipe that I'm still writing. But innovation is some of it, especially in innovation in construction. Okay, but innovation in general, no. Okay, so yeah, I come back to this. Yeah, just so that you know you. Okay, these are the people that I'm together with at the MIT. Okay, okay. So yeah,
Thank
because
you. Thank you,
okay,
Prof.
all right. So I'm not professor yet, but inshallah, I mean.
Inshallah, inshallah.
Okay, so that is the to answer Mr. Ara's question. Okay, if I can find it, I will get it. But in the meantime, if you like, you can buy it from the ni. Okay. So I go back to my Prezi note. Okay. So this one if you can still remember, 10 minutes ago I mentioned about a sand clock. So the shape of the sand clock, which is wide at the top of it and then becomes narrow at the middle of it and then become wide again. Okay, that writing, okay, that shape should represent your writing. Whether you're doing masters, whether you're doing PhD, or whether you are just doing 500 words. Okay, for any other purpose, whatever that you are writing, okay, is important, because the quality of your research, if you are unable to translate it to some publication that can be replicated by someone else, okay, in your own industry or in your own people, so it wouldn't be it become wasteful lah. Okay, so you need to write a very clear writing, concise, okay, according to this model, a sand clock model. Okay, so a sand clock, if you're talking about wide, it means to say that you are writing in a very general form. If you're talking about the shape is about very narrow, okay, a very narrow part, it means to say that your writing should be focused only on what you are doing. Okay, and at the bottom of it, okay, when you're talking about the shape of the sand clock and you want to relate it to your model of your writing, okay, you should be talking at the end of your writing should be in a wider form. You should relate whatever that you found in your research to something that have been done before by other researchers. Okay, let's go one by one. If you're talking about the wider form of this sand clock, okay, I'm talking about the abstract. Abstract should cover everything. Abstract should cover, but in short, simple ways, short, simple sentences about your introduction, about your methodology, about your results, and about your discussion or conclusion. Okay, one sentence, two sentences is enough. Okay, that is the meaning of the abstract. That is why it is in the first rectangle that is in the top, okay, of this sand clock. And then after the abstract, you have a shape that a wider form, and then it becomes a very narrow one. Okay, that should be your introduction. Okay, where you write your problem statement, where you write your objectives, where you write your hypothesis, where you write your scope or your limitations if you and your research. Okay, this is where you tell us readers, okay, your panel of reviewers, your supervisors, okay, the industrialists, okay, who are going to use your research, who is going to replicate your research in this part. Okay, this is where you tell the literature review. Okay, from the literature review comes from the problem statement. Okay, there is an issue that you want to attack. Okay, from the problem statement, okay, you will find things that you are going to do for your research. Okay, so that is the part. Okay, you need to tell, for example, like, okay, someone allies from Indonesia. Okay, for example, like you want to start your introduction. Okay, you need to start your writing with the issue in general perspective. For example, like I'm talking about geographically sensitive point lah here. Okay, for example, like you are from Indonesia. Okay, you must write your writing from global perspective first. Okay, for example, like you're doing a plastic waste problem. Okay, I don't know whatever that you're doing, but I'm just plucked from the air just now. Okay, you are doing a plastic waste problem. So you need to tell about this plastic waste problem from a very general and wide perspective. For example, like how the world views this plastic problem, how the organizations, for example, like the United Nations, okay, for example, like plastic pack from all over the world are actually looking at this problem of this plastic waste. Okay, and then you need to move towards the that is from a very general perspective, and then you need to tell the audience, okay, what is actually happening at the South Eastern region. Okay, what is happening in Asian, and then you go to what is happening in the region itself. Okay, Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore. What are the countries' perspectives about this plastic waste? And then, okay, the narrowest part, okay, the thing that is going to become the focus of your research will be the Indonesia itself, or perhaps you are in where you're from, the lady from Indonesia, the place.
Uh, Me?
Yeah,
Sorry?
yeah. You.
Okay, I'm from Medan.
Medan, yeah. So
Yes, I'm from
from
Medan.
so the narrowest point is perhaps you should look at Medan itself. How Medan looks, or what are the policies about plastic waste? About Medan. So it goes a very wide perspective, okay, global wide, and then southeastern region, and then Asian, and then southeastern region, and then Indonesia, and then to Medan. You can see, okay, the shape follows the model of writing is following the shape of generalization. Okay, from wide to narrow. Okay, and
Okay,
then
Doctor.
okay, thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, thank you. So, after you tell about the introduction, you need to move on. Specifically, because we are at the narrow part of this model of SandCloud, which is the methodology in the orange box. Okay, you need to write at this point, okay, what you did or what you used. Okay, in this research methodology, which why the reason we gather today is you need to tell four things. Okay, what data you collect, who or where you collect the data from. Question 3, how you will collect the data, and the question 4 is how you will analyze your data. So there are only 4 questions that is important in this part, in this orange box, which define the methodology of what you did. Okay, if you concentrate on these 4 things, okay, inshallah, if God wills, okay, you are going to have a very concise and clear writing. Okay, after you explain what you did, okay, you are going to discuss your results. Okay, what you found. Having the methodology that you explain in the orange box, okay, you need to report what you found or what you saw. Okay, so you can see, okay, these 2 boxes, okay, in the methodology and the results are actually talking about your own perspective of research. You're not talking about something that isn't out of your research. For example, like you are testing a concrete, okay, and you're using perhaps a plastic waste in concrete. You're just talking about that. Okay, you don't talk about grass, okay, being put into the concrete and test the strength. No, because that is not what you did. What you do is actually plastic waste, and you apply it to a construction industry, for example, like mine. Okay, you are doing concrete plus plastic waste. You test all the concrete, okay, you know the strength, whether it's good for the house or not, okay, and you found that it's not good. Okay, that is what you did and that is what you saw, and then you report it in the results. You're not talking at this point of time, you're not talking about what other researchers have found. Okay, that is not the purpose of this methodology and results sections. That part should be in the discussion and conclusion. You can see the shape becomes very narrow to very wide. It shows that, okay, you need to relate whatever you found in your research to the literature review. This is where the part you will relate. For example, like you're doing concrete in building a house. Okay, you're using plastic waste. Okay, and then you found that it is not good. Okay, but in the literature review, you found that, okay, there is some researcher that have found that it can be used, the plastic waste can be used to make up a very strong concrete. But when you did it, you cannot get a very good strength. This is where the part where you are going to discuss your results and the findings from the literature review. Perhaps there is something wrong with your research methodology. Perhaps the setting, the methodology itself is not according to standards. This is where you should be reporting the discussion and conclusion. Okay, back to my very specific focus for today, which is methodology, which we are going to talk about what data you collect, or who or where you collect the data from, how you will collect the data, and how you will analyze your data. Okay, do you have any question? Any question so far?
Loud and clear, Prof.
Right. Okay, good. Okay, so we go to the next ni. Okay, I have mentioned just now that I'm going to use a very basic analogy to convey my whatever that I'm trying to convey to you. Okay, with a very basic analogy. Okay, and this point of time I'm going to use cooking, a recipe. Remember, research methodology is a blueprint on how you test your research methodology. How? It means to say that you, in this part, in that orange box, you are going to tell us audience, okay, what are the things that you did and what are the things that you used. So if I can relate it to some basic analogy that everyone can understand, is a recipe to cook. And this point of time, I'm going to use a recipe to cook chicken curry. I think everyone here loves chicken curry, isn't it? Especially, I don't know, has anyone have an allergic to chicken curry?
Yes, of course, Prof. Betul.
You like
You like chicken curry so much with curry leaf.
you know how to cook, is it, Mr. Aras?
Yeah, I'm doing cooking, you know.
I see. I think men are very well in cooking. They are very good in cooking. My husband is very good compared to me. If I cook chicken curry, he won't even taste it. Even he tastes it, okay, I can do it better. Okay. So today, okay, for our class, I'm going to relate it to a recipe for chicken curry. Okay, maybe perhaps for Mr. Arash, who's good in cooking, is a good cook. Maybe perhaps he won't have the necessity to find a recipe in the internet like me. Whenever that I want to cook, I really need to have a recipe beside me. Okay, because I'm a really lousy cook. Okay, but usually if I want to cook, if everyone wants to cook, they will have a recipe beside them before they're cooking. Okay, especially if they want to try something new. Okay, maybe perhaps, okay, I don't know, Mr. Ahmed, are you still there?
Yes, hi.
From Yemen, have you cooked curry before?
Like I cook local Yemeni dishes.
But does it you use herbs for, like, for example, like curry?
Yes,
No.
some
Yes.
ingredients.
Okay. So I don't know. Maybe perhaps the name of the dishes are different, but we here in
Yes.
Malaysia, yeah, we like curry so much. We like curry so much.
Yeah, it's really
Um,
delicious.
yeah. So whenever that I want to cook curry, chicken curry, I will find a recipe. Okay, whether it's in the book, recipe book, or in the internet, and usually the recipe will enlist these two things. Okay, the ingredients and also the directions. Means that what are the things that I will be needing for my chicken curry. I will need vegetable oil, butter, red onion, shallots, okay, garlic and everything. Okay, it will be enlisted into that recipe. Okay, and then usually they will have directions. Okay, what are you going to do with that shallots? What are you going to do with that garlic? Whatever that you're going to do with the coconut milk and everything. Okay, it means to say that there will be a direction. For example, in a large pot of high-sided skillet over medium heat, heat oil and butter. So you see that there is a direction. So we relate it to the research methodology, the four things that you need to conquer in this specific part, in that orange box, which is to have the ingredients, what you use, and how you use it, the directions. Okay, but that is talking about recipe. It wouldn't be a research methodology itself if you have only if you only have these two things. You need to have a justification why you use the ingredients, why you use the directions. So a recipe, okay, sorry, a research methodology is a recipe that has been upgraded with a why question. Okay, why means justification. Okay, excuse me. So if you're talking about a chicken curry, okay, a recipe would have only ingredients and directions. But if you're talking about research methodology of a chicken curry, you will have a justification. For example, like this. Okay, I'm going to read it. 2 experiments were carried out using different combinations of seasoning and varying cooking temperatures. A 4.5 kilogram frozen organic chicken was purchased from By Right Supermarket. By Right only sell grade A chickens approved by the Organic Farmers Association, thus ensuring both the homogeneity of the sample and the quality of the product. Second example. According to the method described by Hanks et al. 1998, the chicken was first immersed in freshly boiled water cooled to a temperature of 20 degrees Celsius and was subsequently rinsed thoroughly in a salt solution so as to reduce the level of bacteria on the surface of the chicken. Can you see the difference there? Can you see the difference of RM?
Sorry, doctor.
Hmm?
Can you say that the recipe is some sort like research framework?
Research framework. A diagram of a framework. Okay. A diagram of a framework. Okay. A diagram or a framework is only a picture of what you're going to do. You're not going to tell why you're going to do it, right? So by having that justification, I think I can say that a framework can be related to a recipe, that the recipe will become like a framework also. For example, like ingredients, okay, and in a box, okay, and then there's an arrow saying that, okay, vegetable oil, butter and everything, okay, and then the directions. But in the framework you wouldn't have the justification of it. Okay, right now I'm telling about the writing. Okay, by writing per se, it means to say that you are not only having that framework, but you need to tell it how, why is it you're going to have it, why do you have to have this framework, and why you choose that framework. Why, the question of why is very important. That differentiate a recipe, okay, and research methodology. So going back to your question, is it the same framework like framework is a recipe? Yes, because a framework is like just a diagram if you relate it to that. Okay, my understanding, your framework is just a diagram, picture 10.1, a framework just telling you what and how. Okay, but the writing of that diagram is the research methodology. It is showing the justification of why you are having this framework. Do you get me?
Yes, thank you, Rata.
Okay, so I go back to my example. Okay, the thing that I just read is actually the thing that I highlighted in yellow line. Okay, the difference, okay, of RM and a recipe is the one that I highlighted in yellow. Okay, using that underline using yellow. For example, like the first paragraph. Okay, blah blah blah, thus ensuring both the homogeneity. So what they did, they only buy right supermarket. For what? Why they only buy right supermarket? Because to ensure the homogeneity of the sample. Can you find that in the recipe? For example, like add ginger, garlic, and everything, add tomato. Is there a justification for it? No, right? It's just a directions. Okay, if for example like you are writing your research methodology same like recipe, you are not writing a very concise research methodology writing for research. Okay, so you right now, okay, I need you guys to remember. Okay, it is doing your research is one thing. Okay, doing writing it is one thing. Okay, if you are fail to write it concisely, okay, and you are fail to think that whatever that you are trying to convey at the beginning of your research, for example like you're in the semester 1, you don't know how to write. Okay, you don't know that you should be writing how and why instead of just how. Okay, you are not going to become a good researcher, because your research cannot be replicated. A good research is a research that can be replicated by someone else. That is how the body of knowledge being added up. Okay, if you're doing your research, you usually if you're doing the questionnaire, if you are doing the survey, if you are making experimental works at the laboratory, you're doing it yourself, right? Nobody is around you who's going to see, okay, whatever that you did. So you need to have a very concise writing to report it back again. Okay, in order for your knowledge to be understood, in order for your knowledge to be read by someone else in the same industry or um, in the same field. Okay, so that is why I'm telling you, you need to have a very good writing. So you need to write now. You need to write now. This is how you're going to start, and this is how you're going to expedite your research process. If you wait until the 6 months before your scholarship ended, okay, and then you're going to have a problem. Okay, like I did when I did my PhD, my supervisor always asked me to write. Okay, every chapter need to send to him, not to him first, because my writing is so bad. Okay, I need to send to his PA first. Okay, I need to send to his research assistant first to check the English. Whenever that it is being corrected or being commented, and I already did the correction, then he will invite me to come to his office and discuss. I think I write and I publish. Okay, so it is a very good thing if you can start right now to find where you can you know send your writing somewhere. For example, like conferences. So in conferences, they will have an opportunity to speak okay, and an opportunity to check your writings, okay. Opportunities to speak, it will makes you, become a very good communicator, okay. You can present well because you have already the experience in speaking at conferences, okay. And it is very different. If I worked before, and I joined academic after not that long, 3 or 4 years in the academic. It's very different, okay, talking from the industrial point of view, and talking from the academic. So from the yeah, but the thing is, I encourage you, okay, from the beginning, find a conference, a good conference, so that you can practice your communication skill, your presenting skill, and then you can send your writing for someone else to check. That is, their comments on your writing is actually very valuable. Okay, before you send your chapter 1 up until chapter 3 to your reviewers, to your panel of reviewers, you need to make sure that someone else have already checked it. And in order for them to check is through conferences. Okay, so make use. I think when I did my PhD, I travel a lot. Okay, I started my PhD in 2010. Okay, I sent my first paper. I started in February 2010, and I sent my paper to United States, to India, and also to United Kingdom in December. So at that point of time, I have budget restriction, so I just picked to go to India, to Chennai. So I presented there. I went there alone. Okay, so I presented there, and I don't know. That is, I think, the second time. When I did my masters, I only presented once, but for my PhD, that is actually the first time ever for my PhD presentation. So the first ever presentation was did at Chennai, Chennai, India. I went there alone, and Alhamdulillah, because of the journey, okay, that I did, and I went to India from London. I started my PhD February in Malaysia, because remember I did my PhD in split mode. Okay, so I did my PhD in both places. So in UK and in Malaysia. So I started my PhD in February. I sent it to these three locations, and then I choose to go to India, and I went to India from London. So I went from Malaysia, and then I went to London, and then I went to India. So at that point of time, oh my god, it was really interesting. I haven't been married yet, but at that time, if I ever been married, then I think I wouldn't be as well traveled like I did when I haven't married yet, because the cost of traveling is actually high. So I would like very much to advise, okay, before you tie knot, okay, make sure you are well traveled, because whenever that you have extra baggages, whenever that you have family, it's very hard for you. So do this, okay, go travel, okay, go travel. So yeah, so for that India conference, okay, I presented alone, okay, and they comment, okay, they give my presentation a very commendable remarks, saying that, okay, it doesn't actually, it doesn't it is not the even though that it is only 8 or 9 months since after I started my PhD, the quality is not there yet. Okay, but because of having the courage to travel a lot, and having the courage to I've been doing for my PhD, which I started from my master's research, I have the courage to present it quite well. Okay, if I didn't go to this conference, I wouldn't have this courage. Okay, so yeah, that is how, okay, you increase your bravery, okay, to present whatever that you are doing now. And actually, whenever that you make a new presentation for your things, for your research, actually it makes you think. Okay, oh, if I if it means to say that after 8 or 9 months, okay, you are just stuck doing your literature review, but you didn't represent it, you didn't present to someone or somewhere else. Okay, you're just going to give it a go. Okay, it means to say that you are going to send whatever that you've been writing for 9 or 8 months, and then you send it to reviewers. That is the first time, okay, that your writing will be seen by someone else. Okay, I encourage not to do that. Okay, I encourage for you guys to send it somewhere else to be checked. Okay, so go back to research methodology. Okay, so research methodology is how and why. You need to have a justification. Okay, why you are using the things that you use and why you did what you do. Okay, so that is research methodology. Okay, so I'm talking about now. Okay, hold on. You have any question? You have any question? You guys?
No, no.
No. Okay, right now I'm going to talk about population and sampling. What data? Okay, and then how you collect the data. Okay, whatever you do, okay, you need to be explicit about your population and sampling size. Okay, if you're talking about population, it means to say that um, 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 population in Malaysia, perhaps. Okay, population in Malaysia is right now how many? Anyone knows? What is the population size of the Malaysian penduduk Malaysia? Need to check lah. Just say, okay, let's say 3 million. Okay, just pluck from the air. I need to check the statistics. Okay,
32 million.
32 million. Okay, so 32 million. Thank you, Mr. Arash. Very good. Okay, 32 million. Okay, this is the population of Malaysia citizen. Okay, the population size is very big. Okay, for example, like you want to check the generation of plastic waste of the Malaysian citizen. So your respondent will become 32 million. That is your population size, because everyone in Malaysia is using plastic. Alright, in their whole the activities. Okay, for your breakfast. Okay, for their dinner and everything. Okay, so everyone is using plastic. So everyone is involved in generation of plastic waste. Okay, so that is population, but it's very impossible for you to test the whole population size, which is 32 million. You wouldn't have the resources to do it. Okay, and it's not very bright to test the population size as big as 32 million. Okay, unless you have billions of ringgit Malaysia. Okay, but if you're talking about academic, okay, we're talking about research, if you're talking about masters and PhD, okay, we need to have a sampling size that fits to that population number. The population size means to say that you are going to just get a dip of whatever that is happening to in Malaysian citizen, and then you will make the a generalization from that sampling size. Okay, it means to say the sampling size should be only one part of it from the whole population size. Okay, so you have an options. Okay, you have an option saying that whether you are going to take a dip, okay, from the whole Malaysian citizen who has an IC, okay, identity card. So you have an option whether to check only Malaysians who are born in Kuala Lumpur. So whatever that you are doing, okay, from the population 32 million, okay, if you are talking about just testing the population through sampling of Malaysians who's having an IC, okay, who's having a blue IC, okay, what you are doing is actually probability sampling. If you're talking about some example, sorry, excuse me. So the probability sampling means to say that you are taking a sample from the whole Malaysian citizen who has an IC, okay, who's using plastic and generate plastic waste. For example, like you have a respondent, a group of respondent, a Yemeni students who came to Malaysia to study, who doesn't have an IC, okay, but they live in Malaysia, okay, and they generate plastic waste also, okay, but they don't have IC and they are not considered as Malaysian citizen, okay. So what if your respondents are like that, okay, Yemeni students who came to Malaysia and generate plastic waste, okay, that means that you are actually doing non-probability sampling, which is outside of the population size. Do you understand me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, so whatever it is, however you collect your data, whatever your data is, you need to be very explicit about the population, which is Malaysian, 32 million. Okay, that is your population size. So your panel of reviewers will ask you, what is the population size? What is your sampling size? What are you going to? How are you going to do? How are you going to collect? Is your sampling comes from the probability sampling? Are you doing a non-probability sampling? So you need to at the back of your mind, you need to be very explicit, be very clear where you take the sampling from. Okay, whether it's probability sampling or non-probability sampling. Alright, that is sampling. Okay, so we're talking about Arash. What is it?
Doctor, sorry to interrupt. Okay. I mean, from the population, what's the ratio of the numbers of respondent and the population?
What is the ratio of the number of
respondent and the ratio?
Okay.
And the population, sorry. The respondent number and the population, from the population.
Okay, at this point, okay, to answer your question, I need to give a very good model. Okay.
Okay.
Find this. Okay. Hold on. Let me. There is a good paper. That I always use and my students always use, okay, Kersey and Morgan, Kerji and Morgan, Kerji and Morgan, Kerji and Morgan, 1970, okay. This one, I'm going to give you the paper itself, okay, which says, okay, how are you going to determine the sample size? Okay.
Okay.
So they will have a table. Okay. If you have, for example, like 2,000 population. Okay. There in this paper, it will say, okay, it will determine, it will give you, okay, a sample size that suits to that. Okay, hold on. I hope that I have a PDF of it.
there is some sort of kind of calculator or
No, not
the
calculator.
or the rule of thumb.
There is a rule of thumb that comes from the this paper. Okay,
Okay.
nanti jap. Just give me a second, okay?
Okay, Dr. Take no problem.
Persian Morgan. Okay. I always use this, okay? And somehow it's not. Okay. Hope this is it. This one. Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to. Okay, the full paper you can just Google the name of the title of the paper and then name. But the thing that I want to show you is this table. Okay. This table, okay, n is the population size. N here, n. S is the sample size. Okay, because you are asking about the ratio, it means to say that if you have a population this much, how many sample size that you need to have, right? So this table give you the answer. Okay, this table give you a guideline. Okay, for example, like you have the biggest, the highest population size here, which is 1 million. So the sample size, using this guideline, you should have 384 respondents sampling size. If you have 10, okay, the sampling size should be 10 also. Okay, that is talking about extreme case. Did I answer your question?
Very loud and clear, Doctor. Thank you so much.
Okay, so we go back to this. Okay. Okay. So data collection methods. You now know. Okay. You now know the population size. You now know the sampling size. Now you need to think of how you're going to collect the data from them. Okay. So you can have whether a quantitative data or a qualitative data. Okay, if you're talking about quantitative, refer to the picture that I give you here. Okay, quantitative means quantity. Means numbers. Okay, numbers that can be generated from surveys, from measurements. Okay, if you are talking about qualitative, means to say you're taking your data from interviews, whether it's structured, semi-structured, or open. Or whether you're doing your focus groups or simply document analysis, whatever data collection methods you think you want to do, okay, you need to answer your research questions. Okay, don't follow the trend, because the trend wouldn't follow your research objectives. Okay, whatever you do, okay, remember you are still cooking chicken curry. Okay, the chicken curry will requires soup. Okay, we require a periuk, not a pan. Periuk bukan kuali. If for example, like you are doing if you are cooking chicken curry using a flat pan, okay, everything will go under the table. It means to say that the method of cooking is not right. You are not using the correct tool. Okay, in order to cook chicken curry, you need to have a skillet. You need to have a periuk. If you are using a flat pan, then you wouldn't get a chicken curry. Instead, you're going to get roti canai. Okay, so whatever it is, you need to remember what are your research objectives. So your research objectives come from your problem statement. The first thing ever in doing a research is to identify what is the problem that you are going to attack, whatever the problems that you are trying to find a solution for. Okay, and then you feed your research methodology to it. Remember, okay, you need to answer your research questions. If you design a very good research questions and research objectives, for example, like to cook a chicken curry, then it's very clear, isn't it? So you will have a very clear data collection methods. Okay, if you write your research objective, for example, like this, to cook chicken curry, or if I have time, I will cook also uh, what is it? Keropok. Okay, papadum. I will also cook. If I have time, also I can make coconut milk or coconut water. Uh, it wouldn't be a very clear and concise research objectives that's come from research research questions. Okay.
Sorry, doctor. The survey means questionnaire is considered survey, right?
Yes.
How about if we use questionnaire, and then we also need to do analysis from the questionnaire. So is it?
Well, means to say that you have an open-ended, you have an open-ended question in your questionnaire, isn't it? And then you need to analyze it from the perspectives. So you need to categorize whatever the answers from the questionnaire respondents in theme form, right? So it is called mixed method.
Mixed
So
method.
yes.
Let's say we have a some set of questionnaire with we use maybe around 300 respondents, and then finally the result we use SPSS to analyze the questionnaire. So it's considered mixed method or mixed or quantitative or qualitative.
Okay,
method.
whenever that you are doing statistical packages, for example like SPSS or Microsoft Excel even, these two statistical packages, softwares are actually dealing with numbers. Am I right?
Yes.
So everything that deals with numbers is categorized as quantitative.
Alright.
If you're talking about interviews, for example, like right now, you just a second ago, you asked me a question and I answered to your question. That is some sort of interviews, isn't it? I'm not giving you a number to explain my answers to you. So it means to say that it is an interview session that comes from my mouth is a set of sentences, okay, that you need to write in your report, in your thesis. So you need to write my whatever that I'm telling you now, not in numbers, but in whether in point form or whether in sentences, okay, but not in numbers, because I'm not saying if you ask me, I answer number 1, or you ask me, I answer number 2. No, right? So whatever it is that is not related to quantity, it is called qualitative. So the methods to collect qualitative data, including interviews, okay, whether it's structured, semi-structured or open, or focus groups, okay, interviews also, but only a set of group, okay, or document analysis, like I did for my PhD. Okay, if you're doing questionnaire, it will include in surveys. Okay, you're doing survey, then usually it covers a lot of respondents lah. Okay, or you're doing experimental work, for example like concrete strength. Okay, the strength of the concrete. Okay, the strength is big. The strength is high or the strength is low. So 50 kN or 70 kN. Okay, it means to say that I'm measuring up the strength. So it means to say that I'm doing quantitative, right? Okay. Referring to your question just now, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't I cannot take away this presentation form and go to see your name, okay, because it's in full me. I'm so sorry about that, but yeah, okay, go back to quantitative versus qualitative. Okay, if we're talking about data collection methods, if we're talking about the type of data, we can, like I mentioned, we have two types of data, whether it's quantitative or qualitative. That requires a different types of analysis. Okay, when you're talking about quantitative, the type of data, it will include numerical and non-numerical numbers or non-numerical. Okay, numbers, numerical relates to quantitative. Whatever can be quantified, it will become a quantitative data that requires quantitative analysis. So the purpose of the data collection method that relates to quantitative is to ascertain size, to get size, to measure size, to get magnitude, to count the amount. Okay, so that all the size, all the magnitude, all the amount will be represented with numbers. Okay, so that is talking about quantitative data. If we're talking about qualitative, okay, the purpose is to express the nature of elements. Okay, that can be represented as themes, patterns, stories, etc. So, for example, like you asked me just now, okay, the questionnaire can be survey, is it quantitative or qualitative? So I give it, I give the answers, okay, by determining, okay, the type of the data that you are going to collect, which is quantitative. So I'm expressing the nature of the research data that you are going to collect. Okay, so that is the nature. The nature means the sifat. The sifat means how is it in the form of. Or I can represent it as themes, patterns, stories, etc. I'm going to explore this in a while. Okay, so data collection method, okay, will involve, okay, for quantitative, including questionnaire, modeling, etc. Okay, that is for quantitative, but we're talking about qualitative, interview, case studies, observations also. Okay, so there are many types of analysis tools that you can use. I remember, don't follow the trend, follow the objectives that you want to meet. Maybe perhaps it's fashionable to use SPSS, but perhaps your respondents are just 20, 30, so it wasn't if you can do this analysis using Excel is enough. Okay, then just use the Excel. If the number of respondents is quite high, yes, it will save you some time. Use SPSS. Okay, just remember, don't follow the trends, follow the objectives that you want to achieve. Okay, so this is some tools that I use. Okay, I'm going to explain it a bit later using my own experience. Okay. Okay, if you're dealing with quantitative data, it means to say that you're doing questionnaire perhaps, okay, that is very commonly being used, okay, for data collection in technology management faculty, okay. So it will involve the measure of central tendency. You're going to use descriptive statistics, it means to say you're going to involve mean, median and mode, okay. So this is very mathematical and statistical related. So for example, like you want to you want to test, okay, the population is Malaysian citizen who generate plastic waste, okay. The population is in Kuala Lumpur, okay, city center Kuala Lumpur, how Kuala Lumpur citizen generate plastic waste, okay, that is a sampling size, I don't know, perhaps 3 million, just put it, okay, in population size, okay. And then you want to know, okay, the median, okay, how is in Kuala Lumpur, how old are they that generate waste, plastic waste. So you send them questionnaire to all the household, okay, in Kuala Lumpur, okay, and then you collect the data, okay, using Google form perhaps, okay. And then you want to have a range, okay. In Kuala Lumpur, the average people that generate plastic waste is 35 years old. That means that you're doing a median, okay, average age. For example, like you're doing a real estate research, okay, you want to know, okay, what is the wage, okay, or how much they are getting every month in Kuala Lumpur to compare to in Perlis, okay, is the B40 and the B40 at Perlis and the B40 in Kuala Lumpur is the same or not? If not, then what is the average of B40 income in Perlis? What is the average of income in B40 in Kuala Lumpur? Is it the same? And then you're going to compare it, okay? Means to say that you are averaging the sampling size of Kuala Lumpur citizen and Perlis citizen, okay, and then make a uh, 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 conclusion. Okay, so it means to say that you are measuring, you are measure the central tendency, whether mean, median, or mode lah. Okay, so if you're trying to find common things, for example, like I just say just now, okay, that it is very common for students in technology management faculty to use questionnaire. Okay, so how am I going to determine that? Okay, I send a questionnaire and ask them what method that you're using. Okay, it turns out, okay, many of you actually in postgrad actually doing questionnaire. So it means that I'm measuring the mode. What is the common research methodology that is being used in this faculty? So mini lah. Okay. If you're doing a bit higher up than the descriptive statistics, okay, you mean to say that you want to normalize the data that you found, okay, you can use the measure of dispersion through standard deviation. I use this for my PhD, okay. I use descriptive statistics, and also I use standard deviation, because whenever that, for example, like, okay, I want to compare the income of Kuala Lumpur, okay, and Perlis. Okay, of course, the Kuala Perlis, Kuala Perlis is the smallest state in Malaysia. Okay, Kuala Lumpur is bigger. Kuala Lumpur, is it a state? Consider wilayah persekutuan Kuala Lumpur kan? So it considers a state also. Is it? No, right? Sorry, I just got back from London, so I got confused. Let's say Selangor. Okay, let's say Selangor. Selangor is a state. Okay, if I want to compare Selangor and Perlis, of course, I cannot compare an orange to an apple. Okay, because of the population size. Kuala Perlis is the smallest state. Selangor is a bigger state. So bigger state is other state. Okay, but Selangor is a big state with which is a very industrialized state. Okay, in our GDP, in the third gross domestic product quarterly reports by Department of Statistics, okay, the three main states that contribute the highest to our GDP is, one of it is Selangor. So it is a very industrialized state. Okay, to compare it to Perlis. So I want to compare the wages, the income. Of course, it is not going to be fair, because Perlis is not as industrialized as Selangor, and its the population size is different. Okay, so if I need to make a measurement, I really need to make a measurement, because I need to help decision makers to make decisions. I need to normalize the data first. Okay, so in order to normalize, I need to use standard deviation. Okay, so standard deviation will make, okay, for example, this is Selangor and this is Perlis. So when I normalize it, okay, I will make this an apple to an apple, so that I can compare it. You get me? I will tell you using my PhD research. Okay, so are you still with me?
Yes, Doctor.
Okay, So that is quantitative. If we're talking about qualitative data, there are many approaches, okay? Unstructured, structured, or semi-structured. Unstructured means you are not directed by a script, okay? Rich but not replicable. I did this for my masters. And structured, okay, it's very tightly script, often like a questionnaire, replicable but may lack richness. If it's semi-structured, it is guided by a script, but interesting issues can be explored in more depth, okay, can provide good balance between richness and replicability. So whatever approaches that you are using, you need to follow these steps, okay? You need to save data in various methods, okay? Through minutes of meeting. That minutes of meeting, I've been advised when I did my masters to, whenever that I prepare the minutes of meeting, the person that have been interviewed, okay, need to chop it, okay, need to means to say that whenever that you have already prepared the minutes of meeting, you need to send it to the person that you interviewed, and then they need to read it, make recommend corrections on it, and then they need to sign it, okay. That is a that is a proper way of recording, okay, saving data. So apart from minutes of meeting, this is talking about qualitative data, okay. You can have the data in videos, okay, where you can see all the body languages, okay, whether they smile, whether they're angry, or whether they're excited or something else, okay. You can also put pictures, okay, voice recorder, etc. And having all that data saved, okay, you can analyze them and try to look for recurrent patterns or themes. And then after you found the common themes, okay, you categorize that data, okay. The categorization scheme may be emergent or pre-specified. It means to say that whenever that you interview, it depends on whether it's unstructured or structured or semi-structured lah. Okay, emergence means, okay, whenever that you interview them, the new data come. Okay, or pre-specified means to say that it comes from you yourself. That you need to be very sure whenever that you are doing interview. Okay, you're not directing the interviewee, okay, to your own understanding lah. You need to be open, okay, because that is why you are collecting data. You know, it means to say that you want to see other person's perspective. If you're directing them towards your own perspective, following your own direction, that means to say that you're wasting your time. Okay. And after you're doing the categorization, look for critical incidents. Okay, there are so many teams, there are so many people talking about one thing. Okay, and one particular thing always pop up. Okay, that means the critical incidents always pop up. Okay, and it means to say that it will focus the critical incidents that you have already found. It will help you to focus in on key events. That is the key events. That is actually what is happening in the industry or the field that you are trying to test. Okay. Do you have any question before I move on?
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much, Doctor. My name is Tony. Good morning. I appreciate your time for this presentation. I just have a question, but I don't know if it's the right time to ask it. I just give you the question, but if you think it needs a little bit more explanation, we can do it at the end of this session. Yeah, the question is how we actually frame our theoretical framework, how we choose it. For example, if we choose theoretical framework for our qualitative research, for example, theory of human capital, this is what I'm going to do. Then, is that affects the way I'm collecting the data? Or my data collection actually decides what theoretical framework I should choose? I just want to say which one dominates the other one.
Okay, I think this requires more time. Okay, and I think I will capture this at the end of this presentation. Yeah.
Thank you, Doctor.
All right, thank you. Thank you for your question. Okay, maybe perhaps after this we can you ask me again at the end of this presentation, right? All right. So Okay, I promise you that I'm going to share my background, my research experience. All the theory I have already exposed you to. Okay, and this is the practical. Okay, the experience that I gathered. Okay, that explain, that justify the things that I have already shared with you. Okay. So like I mentioned, okay, my background is in Bachelor of Civil Engineering, okay, and Engineering Management, and then my PhD is in Environmental Research, okay. So there are the universities that I learn, okay, all these research skills, okay, and the things that is most important is the type, okay, the type of data that I have involved in. Okay, for example, like for my research methodology, okay, when I did my civil engineering, I did quantitative, okay. So my civil engineering is when I did my civil engineering, I did two research. Okay, the first is in the bending analysis of rectangular space frame. Okay, lots of modeling, and then the behavioral lightweight concrete. This after I finish my degree, I spent my time as a research assistant at UTMKL. So this is what I did. So I learned about quantitative, okay, through computer modeling and laboratory work. So that is my background, okay, for my bachelor degree. When I move on to masters, okay, 6 years after that, and I'm doing my masters, like I say, in part-time mode, okay, I did a qualitative data collection method, which is through interviewing the industry that I'm testing on, okay. And then for my PhD, I bring whatever that I found in my master's research. Okay, my master's research becomes the preliminary data. Okay, I combine it. Okay, for my PhD, and I replicate again the interview, but in the form of questionnaire. Okay, and then I did document analysis, okay, and computer modeling. So I tested, okay, quite all of these quantitative, qualitative, and mixed methods, okay, through my tertiary education background, okay. So for my data, for the tool for my data analysis, my bachelor degree, I use Multiframe 3D, a software for structural analysis. Okay, and I use also Microsoft Office diagrams. Okay, like Excel, like Word, because the sample is not requiring me to use SPSS, but I did use SPSS when I work with when I seconded to Zaba. Okay, Zaba, there's a consultant firm in Kuala Lumpur, Zaba. I'm sorry, I don't remember, but it is a very well-known consultant firm, civil engineering consultant firm in Kuala Lumpur, who did the um, um, tunnel, okay, smart tunnel. So they sent a questionnaire to those around, okay, asking them what are their opinions, okay, about the development of smart tunnel in their local area. So at that point of time, it was like in 2001 or 2002. So smart tunnel has not been, I don't know, it has already been developed or it is in the middle. But I remember the questionnaire is about smart tunnel, okay. Okay, so that is the tool that I use, okay. For masters, okay, I just, because my background is in civil engineering, of course, it involves quantitative, okay. So when I did my masters in engineering management, it's totally different. It was a culture shock for me. It is hard, but not impossible to do. Okay, this is the point of no return. The point of no return when you involve in management, when you are involved in humans. Okay, and at that point of time, I didn't have the knowledge yet to use which data analysis tool that best to fit into my research. But so I use Microsoft Office programs. but I enrich it. Okay, I enhance it, and I also um, make improve it, okay, during my PhD, and where I find many tools, but I choose to use TPSIR, ArcMap10 for GIS, and MCDA, multi-criteria decision analysis. End up, the result for my PhD, okay, helps the decision makers in my specific industry, which is the dredging industry, to make sustainable decision. So that is the end. Okay, that is the end result of my PhD. So in order to get that end result, okay, I need to have a mixed method lah. Okay. So if you are dealing with qualitative data presentation, okay, you because qualitative, okay, it's not as straightforward as measurement. Okay, it is not as straightforward as things that can be quantified. Okay, because we are dealing with sentences, we are dealing with text, we are dealing with videos, body languages, we are dealing with stories. So we need to have a model to follow, okay, in order to make whatever that we found a good story to tell to our panel of reviewers, okay, to our audience, especially our supervisor. Okay, so this is one tool that I found very helpful for me to tell my story. Whenever that I have done my interview, okay, and like I say, I have a problem in when I did my masters. Okay, I didn't find the specific tool that can help me to tell my story. Okay, I went for interview session. Okay, I went to interview lots of people. Okay, in Port of Tanjung Pelepas, in Wajah Steel, in my own company, in parent company. Okay, so I have, because even though that the respondents is in a quite handful, like 10 respondents, but because 10 respondents have 10 ways of telling their stories, okay, and the sentences or the point of the point of their stories are actually different. So but sometimes there are talking about the same thing, but in different ways, in different words. So it's hard for me to translate whatever that they are telling me and report it into my thesis. So when I did my PhD, I found a good thing, a good tool, which is called DPSIR. Okay, the driver, pressure, state, impacts, and response. You can find this concept similar to NVIVO. Okay, the thing is, whatever that you are doing, it is only to represent whatever that you found and tell the story to your audience, specifically to your supervisor and to your panel of reviewers. So I use DPSIR. D is driver, P is pressure, state is S, impacts is I, and response is R. Okay, I'm using my example for my tertiary education. Okay, the driver, okay, is the socio-economic. The driver is the socio-economic. The pressure comes from composition costs for local communities. The state is high, which create the impacts of financial burden. So what should be the response? Okay, for example, like build apartment for illegal residents on gazetted area and sell to local communities at a low price. Who is going to be responsible? The client. So it makes it easy, okay, in a table form, for me to tell my story to the audience. And I simplified this table form, okay, into a diagram. This is still sentences, okay, in a diagram like this graphical form. Okay, I put a story, I put my story in a graphical form like this. Okay, driving force, the frequent dredging exercise, and then pressure, dredging rules and regulations, and then the state is negative, the impacts is socio-economic, environment and management, and the response is in integrated environmental management. it makes like I say, the problem that I have when I jump from quantitative to qualitative is representing the data that I collected from minutes of meeting, the videos, okay, the focus groups, okay, and end up it jumble around. It becomes like an opening and Pandora box. There's lots of things, but end up for my PhD, okay, after 2 years, 3 years, I settle my masters. Okay, I got the tool, the correct tool, okay, to make it easy to represent my data. You get me? Hello?
Yes, Doctor.
Okay. Okay. So that is for qualitative. Okay. If you are talking about interview, focus group, content analysis. Okay. If you're talking about quantitative data presentation, for example, like what you can see here. Okay. Sediment quality in milligram per kilogram, water quality in milligram per liter. Okay, so coordinate, okay, for example, like the one in the map that I show you. Okay, so it all requires analysis of quantity. Okay, quantity in milligram or kilogram in milligram or liter. Okay, or coordinate. So it all involves numbers. So there are ways to represent this, represent this data. Okay, I can opt to use graph. Okay, that is usually being used, commonly being used. Like you say, like you can see here in the water quality. Okay, I can show okay, water quality from date to another date. Okay, this is the water quality in milligram per liter. Okay, so I can say that the highest water quality for TSS, okay, is 20 on 1st of March 2006. Okay, so that is how I represent my data. That is very commonly being used, okay, by many researchers. But if I want to relate it, if I want to make it more concise, okay, I can use GIS, okay, Geographical Information System, to make it clear. Okay, so the water quality on 1st of March in 2006, which is 20 milligram per liter, is at coordinate S1. For example, okay, or at S2. Okay, this is area S2. So you can see the picture here shows the map. Okay, this is a map of Kuala Sungai Dinding. Okay, so area S2 here, okay, is in the red dot here. Okay, the blue dot here. So the water quality in S2 is 20 milligram per liter at the specific date on 1st March of 2006. Okay, so I not only present my data in a common graph like in this water quality, but I also manage to relate it to a coordinate. Okay, and then not only that, okay, I manage to combine two types of data and show it in a specific location. So it is not only showing water quality, but also showing the sediment quality, the soil quality in specific area. For example, like S1, S2, can you see my arrow here?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so this specific, this is soil quality, sediment quality in, for example, like S2. S2 here, okay, the water quality is 20. The water quality is affected by sediment quality. Okay, whenever that it is dredged, okay, the water quality will have an impact too. Okay, so in this very specific location that it comes from the GIS, okay, Geographical Information System, I can identify this place with this quality of sediment, with this quality of water, it will have a risk if a contractor wants to dredge in this place. So a contractor is the decision maker. So it is one way of you guys to represent your quantitative data instead of just using a very boring, commonly used graph. Maybe perhaps you can relate it to geographical location. Okay, that is quantitative data presentation. Okay, this is another thing. Okay, if I want to if I want to use mixed method, okay, quantitative versus plus qualitative. Remember, I use this for my PhD. Okay, I need to have a framework. A framework that I can use, okay, to combine these two data collection methods. Okay, for example, like you can see there are three colors in three boxes. Okay, the green one is the qualitative one. Okay, it includes legislative watch, okay, social watch, economical watch, technological watch. It means to say the data watch is observation. Okay, so I observe, okay, how they do the dredging works, okay, from the perspective of legislative, social, economical, and technological. Okay, that means that I'm doing qualitative data analysis. And then after that, I move on to the red box. Okay, I translate whatever that I found in the observations. Okay, and I categorize it, and then I use models. Okay, and I use GIS to quantify the things that I found. In this part, I did content analysis also. Okay, so I spent a couple of weeks at my previous company, okay, in doing scan all the documents that they have, contract documents, bill quantities, environmental and technical reports, okay, all their maps, okay, everything I scan, okay, I digitize everything. They didn't pay for my service. I do that for my PhD. Okay, and I digitize everything so that I can put the numbers that I found in the reports into my geographic information system model. Okay, and then I run risk assessment. Okay, from all the quantitative data, from the water quality, from the sediment quality. Okay, and I run risk assessment, and I can have a risk value. A risk value for a very specific location. For example, like S2. If the contractor wants to dredge at S2, a specific area in S2, then the risk value is, for example, like 20. If the contractor wants to dredge specific in S1, the risk value perhaps is 10. So I can say and I can advise, okay, as a consultant, I can advise to the contractor that, okay, you may dredge in S1, but if you apply technological means to control, to mitigate the measures of to lower the impacts of environment in S2, then you can do that, because the risk value for S2 is higher than S1. So it become like a buoy, okay, red flags to contractors. If they want to dredge at certain specific area, they need to do the risk analysis, and they can use whatever that I found in my PhD as their model. Okay, and then after I did all the risk analysis and GIS, okay, in quantitative form, I combine it together. Okay, so I combine it together in order for me to have the numbers, the risk value. Okay, so risk value cannot be only seen through water quality or sediment quality, okay, or the location, the coordinates, but there are also legislative observation, there are also social impact, there are also economic impact, there are also technological impact. So I need to combine all data from quantitative and qualitative into a set of data, for example, like a risk value that can be used by the decision makers. They come up with a risk value. So this is actually the framework for my PhD. Okay, I refer back to the question that just now, Mr. Who is it? The theoretical framework?
That's me, Doctor.
Okay.
Tony.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you asked about theoretical framework. Okay, I can say that this is actually my theoretical framework. The theoretical framework that I have here in front of you guys here is actually the one that I copy and innovate it from another good key paper. Okay, I have this theoretical framework, okay, which is in the green box, the red box, and the purple box that I found in my first semester when I did my PhD. Okay, so when I found this framework, a very good framework, I innovate it and I fit it to my own research perspective. So I want to help decision makers to dredge and to lower the impact of environment. So my specific area is in Malaysia. Okay, so I can use whatever that I found. This research comes from a research that is being done in Holland. So I take that framework, okay, and I innovate it, okay, and fit it into my own research perspective. So the theoretical framework was built from another paper, okay, and by time, okay, along the time when I'm more matured in my data and more matured in my research area, I improve it. Okay, I improve it and I make my own theoretical framework. I need to have that theoretical framework at the very beginning. Okay, I copy one theoretical framework from another paper. Okay, I innovate it, I fit it. I have many theoretical frameworks. Okay, before I jump into into a very specific framework that I did for my PhD. Okay, if you want to know the framework for my framework, okay, you can search my name for in Google Scholar, okay, and try to find my papers there lah. Okay, it's called risk-based analysis, risk-based dredging analysis. Or in fact, you can find my hold on, my LinkedIn page. Okay, you can find my PhD, my master's thesis. Okay, can you see this LinkedIn page? Is it? Can you see?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So view profile. Okay, search for my name. Send me a connection in order for you to see. Okay, and go to the end of the here. Okay, here. So you can find my thesis for my PhD. Okay, here. I'm copying it. Give it to you guys to check and innovate. You can copy, but then you can innovate according to your own need. Okay, that is for my PhD. Okay, for my masters, you can find it also, but I wouldn't recommend, because the quality of research, or the quality of research and the quality of writing, and also the quality of thesis is actually along the time will improve. Okay, so I would recommend, if you want to find some examples, okay, my example, you can use my PhD thesis lah. It is openly sourced. Okay, you can use and innovate. All right. So did I answer the question from Mr. Is it from Mr. Tony? Is it?
Yes, that's correct, Doctor. I think I got some part of my answers, but I'm not sure if I'm confident with it or not. Just want to see the research methodology that I'm choosing. For example, I go for qualitative grounded theory or qualitative interpretative theory. That research methodology actually determines what theoretical framework is more suitable, or first I need to choose my theoretical framework, of course is in qualitative, then I can somehow relate it to my research methodology, or there are not such connection between them as such.
Okay, so there will be a connection. Okay, from my own perspective, like I say, okay, I take a framework that have been done by some other researchers, and I innovate it to become my own framework. It means to say that I find already developed framework, okay, and I innovate. I copy it and I innovate it to fit my own research. It means to say that it is a necessity for you to find a framework. A framework that will determine how you're going to collect your data, what types of data that you're going to do, and the research methodology that are going to be the research methodology that you are going to apply. So it means to say, in answering your question, yes, from my perspective, you need to have a framework at the very beginning of your research. But if you are doing like I did, it's a mixed method, okay. But if you are doing a measurement analysis, okay, you're doing quantitative, it means to say that you can have a research methodology that being done by someone else, but you are using a new technology, perhaps, okay. For example, like I'm using my own background here. I'm testing the strength of concrete using plastic waste. It has never been done before by anyone else, so there is no specific framework that have been developed by someone else. So I need to have a new framework. So before before coming up with a very newly developed framework, I need to test my hypothesis first. So for example, like, okay, I need to make a new technology. So my research methodology will be a very new, but I test that research methodology first, and then I develop a framework later. Okay, that is a comparison between the development of framework, a theoretical framework, whether you want to do it at the beginning of research or at the end of your research. Okay, if you are dealing like mine, if you're dealing matters like mine, which is coming from mixed research method, okay, you need to have a theoretical framework at the very beginning of your research. If you are doing a measurement, a quantitative one, a purely quantitative, you need to test a new technology. You need to test a new hypothesis that never been tested, or the things the researcher in that field is very few, that you cannot find many papers in it. Then you need to come out with a newly developed framework. Okay, all in all, every research need to have a theoretical framework at the very beginning, because remember, your research methodology is your blueprint. A blueprint is something like this. Let me share with you. Okay, this is your research methodology. I don't know, maybe because you come in late, is it?
Yes, doctor, I can late because I'm in Europe, so
it's okay. So I have mentioned this. Your research methodology is your blueprint on how to test your hypothesis. Okay, so it means to say that you need to have a plan. Research methodology is a blueprint, it's a plan on how to research, on how to test your hypothesis. So all in all, you need to have a theoretical framework. But depending on the type of data that you are dealing with. Okay, did I answer your question?
Thank you very much. Yeah, doctor, I think my understanding is the research methodology is look like a map that I'm going to navigate from point A to point B through my research. And the theoretical framework is actually the vehicle I'm driving through this road.
Yes, correct. Okay,
Okay.
I go back to my point in the recipe
Yeah.
and the justification here. Okay, you haven't seen this before, is it? The chicken curry recipe. Okay, no, not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet now. Okay,
No,
so
no.
research methodology, I make a very general analogy. Okay, I relate the research methodology to a simple recipe to cook chicken curry. If you want to cook a chicken curry, you need to have a recipe that gives you the idea of what are the ingredients and what are the directions. But the different thing that differentiate the recipe from the research methodology is the justification. It means to say, if you want to have a concise research methodology, you need to have ingredients. Okay, what are the things that you're going to use? Okay, you need to show, you need to determine, okay, the directions, how you're going to use that ingredients, and then why. You need to have a justification of why you want to use the ingredients and the directions. All right.
Thank you very much, Doctor. I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any question? Because we have like 6 minutes more. I think.
Thank you for your good sharing, Doctor.
All right. Okay. Hold on. Data analysis. Okay, hold on. I have one small point. Okay, if you're dealing with quantitative, okay, like I mentioned, you're going to have a descriptive statistics. You're going to analyze your data using mean, median, or mode, or inferential statistics where you're going to use ANOVA, correlation, regressions, and everything. Okay, if you're talking about qualitative, the analysis that is going to be performed is if you are dealing with teams, you can do the content analysis. If you're dealing with how people interact with each other, you can use discourse analysis. And if you're dealing with how people talk about their experience, okay, you can use the narrative analysis. And you can find many research methodology books, okay, that give the definition of each of the things that I mentioned, okay, and please explore. Okay, there are lots of things that you need to explore. Okay, and please remember that it isn't easy to do this PhD or masters. I have heard, okay, about people who, when I did my PhD, we have like 5 minutes more. It's it's a good thing that I share this. Okay, when I did my PhD, I have heard people. One of the experiences, I have a friend who did the similar mode PhD like me. Okay, she's in London at that point of time, and her sons, her daughters, her children, and his late husband is still in Malaysia. Okay, and one point when she's struggling to do her PhD in London, the husband died. Okay, and another thing is that is one experience. One girl who's doing his PhD, same like mine, mode. Okay, speed PhD mode. Okay, her experience is her fiance at that point of time was caught for dealing drugs. And another friend of mine who's doing full PhD at Imperial College London, okay, drowned himself. Okay, Malaysian. So every single person who's in this journey of PhD, who's in this journey of doing masters, they have different kind of challenges. Okay, some are good, some are bad. Like mine, Alhamdulillah, is very good. Okay, I'm able to finish everything in 3 years and 7 months. I get the ability to go America, to the United Kingdom, to India, to around the Europe. Okay, I went back to Malaysia again for the sake of my family. There are good things about doing PhD for some people, but some other people, they have their own kind of challenges too. That it is not always rainbow, and it is not a bed of roses when you're doing PhD or masters by research. I hope, okay, from my point of view, whenever that you are touching, when the shorter, no, um, the the thing, okay, when you reach, for example, like the end of your PhD, it will soon become so, it's so hard to, reach, even though that you are at the end of the road. It will feel that way, okay, but okay, keep on swimming, keep on fighting, inshallah you will be there. And after 7 to 8 years, like me, okay, you will find, you will look back, okay, you will throw back, you will have some throwback sessions, okay, looking at, Allah, just PhD, it's just masters. All right. So I think that's the end of my presentation. Uh, if you don't have any question, okay, if you have question, I'm willing to answer personally. Okay. Okay, moderator. Okay, I will give the recording. Okay. To the moderator, to the administration, or you can simply find my name, okay, Nur Fadzliatun Mana, in my YouTube channel. Okay, there are many recordings about research methodology when I talk about similar things, okay, and you can find more infos there lah. Okay, you have any question before I end up? Just 1 minute more. No?
No, doctor. No, doctor.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. I wish you all good luck. Okay, I wish you all good luck, and I wish you have a smooth sailing journey for your masters and your PhD. Keep in contact through LinkedIn. Okay, and yeah, all the best. Bye.
Thank you for sharing, Doctor.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Thank you.
Have a great lunch. Bye.
Thank you, Doctor.
Bye.